Good morning, everyone. It's Sunday, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Jake says, Happy Mother's Day, Master. Sometimes often when certain things come up where I just for myself am going, how is this possible that people do stuff like that? This and that, just don't get it or be okay. And I look at the dogs, even the horses, the pigs, the chickens, going, what do you guys think? It's always the same. What do you mean? What are you talking about? We have no problem. Because all of the principles of creation are 100% guided by, yes. Do we interfere? Yes. Do we interfere in a good way? Most of the time, not. I don't have a whole lot of give and take with my mom anymore. Though she's still alive on another continent. And I absolutely love my mother. I come to understand after I became a mother on how difficult it can be to raise children. Yes, under the guidance of God, she did. Guided us well with that. And to have to do it as a single parent, mostly. My dad, I've talked about my dad. Oh, my goodness sakes. Hey. I was, due to certain circumstances that were happening around my mom, the people that took care of her, my sister, my brother, my sister mainly. And I'm telling the story, probably going to be kind of boring for most, but I'd like to tell the story again on how our willingness to really change something, make big changes in our lives, willing to do that for the sake of others. Sometimes really truly is just, so where is your heart at when it comes to all that you know and have learned? The give and take with spirit world. Right? Yes, kind of like Abraham when God supposedly asked, which I think there was something within Abraham that decided something, not necessarily God asking him to go sacrifice his son. But through my own experience with my mother and one of my sister, I've come to understand Abraham's story a little bit better on how you sacrifice. Okay, sacrifice, yes. I was willing to sacrifice a lot. Oh, unhappy? No. My mom's up in age. She's 84 this year. She will be 84 next month. And I have to be even careful sending a birthday card to my own mother because there is a watchful eye that all right, I don't really want to get too far into that. I want to talk about my mother and I. The last visit that I had with my mother was amazing. My mother loves Jesus. She loves Jesus. She was a nun. Okay, she didn't become a nun because she loved Jesus so much. Well, again, there is. Huh? But I think it was a good prep for me to be born, right? Okay, I'm just saying. She was a nun for 8 years. My mom very much craved love from a parent she didn't have, either mother or father. And an evil stepmother. Okay, yeah, they do exist, believe it or not. And when she was 14, she met a nun that treated her like her daughter in a way. She experienced a closeness and love from a parent to a child. No doubt God was involved there too, right? Don't you think? She never experienced before. And she didn't want to give that up. So at the age of 14, she entered a convent, a cloister. And when she was 22, she realized that that was not her path in life, to stay a nun all her life. Thank God. Where would I be otherwise? Oh, my children, my grandchildren. Oh, thanks, Mom. You came to realization. Soon after she left to be a nun, she met my dad. Oh my gosh. Why my dad? Her foundation of 8 years of praying, this and that, right? Should have been a good foundation to find a really, really good man. My dad was a good man. He was not a bad man. He was just my dad. Oh, and he did things. Sometimes I wonder if the trait I seem to have since a child to get into trouble, though I really didn't think I was going to get into trouble, or trouble just found me. I wasn't looking for it. It found me, okay? I was always surprised. How the heck did I get in trouble this time, right? Yes, I think it was a little bit the same for my dad. Okay, you get to a certain age and you have to say, all right, enough with that already, right? Yes? Well, my dad never grew out of it somehow. But my dad worked. He was a workaholic and he was an alcoholic. Yes. And because of my dad, there were some things possible that would have been very difficult to achieve when he came to the restoration process, yes, of our Heavenly Parent for us all. So, Mom and Dad both played a great role in all that. My mom loves going to church. Every day would be great, but and she loves the rosary. At that time, she was leading the rosary at a nursing home, and I went with her every day, just about, except I think one day of the week. They didn't have it or something. And she was also the, what do they call it? helping out the priest on the sermons at mass that he gave. She was the one that got everything ready, so of course I'd go for that. Then anything else. We did just about everything together. Watching TV together. She had shows that she was very okay. I gotta watch this now. Okay, I gotta know what's going on. Okay, that's fine. I just sat there with her and watching. I'm like, every once in a while, so what's going on exactly, actually? And she'd tell me real quick, I gotta watch now. I'll tell you later. And we'd be knitting socks together. My mom taught me how to knit socks. Yes. I've knitted many pairs of socks. So did my mom. And I ended up with a lot of pairs, which I still have. I try to really, really conserve them and wear them, not necessarily sparingly, but yes, okay. On special occasions, oh, they make great bed socks because they're all wool, some of them. Anyway, I spent all my time with my mom 6 weeks. Just about exclusively, because I didn't know when I would be able to go back again. And it was before COVID, just before COVID. And I felt such a closeness to my mom. Did my mom feel the same way? I don't know. We didn't grow up with a whole lot of hugging and kissing and snuggling or whatever. I think the closest time with my mom and my siblings, I remember sitting on the couch and we would pray together. Yes? And my brother and sister start giggling, and then my mom could hardly hold it in, and I'm going, come on now, right? Trying it. And nobody could hold it in, and my mom just started laughing. I mean, we'd all be just giggling and giggling it out, and really, oh my God, laughing fits. And then, we'd continue praying. Yes? Yeah. One of my fondest memories. But hugging and kissing and all that jazz, I did not grow up like that. I had a great friend, though, here I met in the United States, who taught me, literally taught me um, to. I saw the loving, caring relationship that she had with her children, and yeah, it's great. Something one sometimes has to learn. Yes, yeah. There was a little bit of whiplash doing that, all with my mom coming from one of my siblings. Even though I had already said what my purpose for that visit was, is to be with mom. Time goes on, and I had that after I got back, I had that injury on my leg that it was a weird one. No, I didn't have an accident or nothing. And I ended up having to lay back, sit back, put my legs a lot. And during that time, I had amazing give and take with that sibling, my sister. So I thought. And through that couple of years, it was a couple of years. So it was a couple of years before COVID. We were basically communicating every day. Yes? Okay. For hours and hours. And there were some things that came out that I thought, I need to go back and help out too. To just leave that on the shoulders of one sibling is not right. My brother was very busy, helped out, but the main bulk of it all was on top of my sister. And I thought, all my children are grown, out of college, they're out of the house, doing their own thing. I could go back. I could go back. My mom lives in a beautiful chalet. It has plenty of room and space for another person to be there. And I started making a plan. And I thought I was making that plan with my sister and my mother and even my brother. I had to talk to my children, say I'm going back to Switzerland. I'm not sure for how long. I might never come back. But I want to go. I need to go and be help out with my mother and be there with my mother. I really, really wanted to do that. I gave everything away. I really cleaned house. I didn't want people to stumble over my things or throw my things out without me making the decision. I gave everything away. Just about. I was going with just a suitcase to Switzerland. Didn't need more than that. Got rid of a lot of stuff I knew nobody would care about anyway. And everything seemed fine. And then COVID hit. Yes. Oh, what now? Well, I was already in the process of, hadn't gotten my ticket yet. So I said, well, we can still travel. That's not a problem, So then the day I got the ticket, which my husband paid for. All right, it's my ex-husband, but he's my husband. He's still my husband. And who knows? We planted together a mulberry tree. It's also called at Chongpyeong in Korea, the tree of heart. So, anyway, so I got a lot of support here from my children and everyone to do that. They were real sad about it, but they understood why I wanted to do it. Needed to do it. I bought the ticket and everything went sour. Very quickly. I'm not going to get into the details. I realized that though we made plans, though we talked a lot about it, and everyone seemed to be excited and happy that I was doing that in Switzerland, once I got the ticket, once it became reality that I was going to be on a plane going there, they didn't want me anymore. That sounds harsh, but that's how it was. My mother and my sister are like two peas in a pod, and they take amazing care of each other. I thought I could maybe be a part of that because of, the concerns I've heard about the care of my mom. I don't want her to go to a nursing home. I want her to be able to stay in the little house that she dreamed of all her life and my stepfather made finally possible for her. Okay. So that all came to an end, and I just last year was able to pay back the ticket. Oh, I wasn't going to, no. That was my responsibility. Didn't happen. So it was going to be a present, a going away present of my husband's. Yeah. And that didn't happen. So I paid him back over several years. Yes. I don't make any money. But I did. It always worked out. So somehow it always works out. I make the little money that, yeah, yes, okay. It was very, very sad. And after a pretty intense forth and back with my sister, I realized that I had to give that up again. I had to give that up. I had to not, and believe me, as I said before, when I get ready to do something, I'm organized. I go 100%. Right? Now I had to put on the brake, and that was that. You're a little lost then, right? I was. I wasn't quite sure what happened, why did it happen. It's been several years already now, and my mom calls maybe once in a while. We talk because no one can trace that. Nobody knows. Okay. Why it can't? Yeah. Okay. It is what it is. And I found a lot of peace in just accepting on how the situation is and how it is best for everyone. I don't do pretend. I live in reality here, not in some show or a drama. And I had to accept that the best way now, after all what happened, is to just completely stay out of the way and let my mom make the decision, yes, to contact me. And I found an incredible peace. I found incredible peace with that somehow. I'm not mad at anyone. I'm not trying to figure out and how to do anything there anymore. I just pray and I love and I give from my heart. That's what I do. And things are going well. My brother. Though he does not like to be in between conflict, so I don't make him a part of it. We wish each other happy birthday, and it's kind of in the through the first quarter of the year, and then at the end of the year, and I'm sure that he always will go and say, "Guess what, Mom? She's doing fine. Everyone's fine." That's all my mom needs to know. Mother's Day. It isn't the same for everyone, is it? Mother's Day. Yes? I also believe that, in a way, I don't think it's that God tests us, right? But the strength of our heart, our spiritual growth, is being addressed all through our lives. And this was, in a way, addressed my heart. What will you do? And because I was so willing, yet, what if I would have gone and that would have become a big old conflict? That would have been so much worse. It would have been so much. That would have that would have caused all kinds of breaks. I know that. I realize that now. And in a way, Spirit World kept me here. You're not. You have to give up. Yeah. The money went. I couldn't get the money back for the ticket. That was the sacrifice. Money? Fine. But I will think of my mom today. And of course, I will think of True Mother. Mm. We also lost a friend yesterday. Longtime friend. Longtime friend of my husband's, mainly. And it was time to go for him, I guess. Yes, yeah. So we have a little sadness today here on Mother's Day in our family. He was a good friend. He was an interesting friend too. Did all kind of things. Kind of like my dad. Trouble found him too. And there was a third thing. Can't remember. Anyway, let's get going on our reading. But that's what I wanted to share on Mother's Day. Sometimes distance isn't a negative thing. I'm good with where I'm at. And I had this time with my mother when I went home the last time that I carry deeply within my heart. Yes. And I know that my sister needs this time with my mom, has needed it for many, many years. And there are circumstances, and it's not something for me to be a part of. It wasn't meant for me to be a part of. I love my sister very much. As well. Yes. There. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so what if your mom dies? Are you going to go to Switzerland? No. Why would I go to Switzerland to stand in front of a casket? I'm very much connected to my mother in spirit, and that is also why. I know her prayers. I feel her prayers for all of us. That will never change. That is something that our mom taught us from little on. I've seen her do since I've been little, growing up, and I know that will never change. The prayers that my mom sends our way, all of us, will never change. Yeah, see? Yeah. Okay. All right. So, we are in the book of Ezra 4. Opposition from the Samaritans, their tactics under Cyrus. Oh, what's going on here now? That's a long one. Get ready, guys. When the enemies of Judah and Benjamin heard that the... Oh, I'm reading this for our friend John, who passed away yesterday. As guidance. Yeah, it takes about 3 days after someone passes away, unless they're in a coma or something. It's a little different there. But, or otherwise, yeah, okay. Takes about 3 days to make the switch out of your body, kind of. Okay, well, I've seen, yeah, I have too. And yet still, the spirit hasn't quite, oh, interesting word to use, solidified in spirit world. It still has, it takes some time to separate, right? Yes, it takes a while for the body, the physical body, to completely do what? Start to disintegrate. Start, right? Yes, that does not happen right away. So, just saying. Okay, so this is yesterday. I said today. It was. I already had read. That was. We found out after. I'd already done the Bible reading yesterday. So today I'm going to read out for our friend John to start to transcend, to start to transition. Yes. Okay. To spirit. He'll be in a good place. He'll have to start small in some things. It's all right. But he'll do well there, I have no doubt. He had the heaviest Kentucky accent here. Southern Kentucky accent. Yeah. After years, 30 years of knowing him. Okay, I knew him before we even moved here, though he is from Kentucky as well. He came to visit us. Even after 30 years, I still had to say, "What did you say, John?" What was that exactly? Heaviest tag. And when he really got into telling a story, it's like, oh my gosh. Ah, beautiful. I love the dialect. I love it. Okay, even if when they really get into it, when they start really their dialect here, right? And there aren't many who have it anymore. Okay, there really aren't, the older ones. I'm telling you what. Actually, I have a niece who's very much still, but she's not quite as heavy though. I can understand her just fine. Forget it. You can't. Don't even bother. You can listen and you can really even come on now. It's English they're talking, right? No, I don't. No, it's fabulous. I love it. I love it. And John had this heavy accent. Beautiful. I call it a dialect. It's a beautiful dialect. It's a yeah, hard to describe. Okay, let's get going. John, this is for you to guide you. Of course, immediately I could feel spirits going, "Oh, where is he? We're going to help him too." Yes? Okay. When the enemies of Judah and Benjamin heard that the exiles were building the temple of Yahweh, God of Israel, how did they still retain enemies after how long have they been in Babylon? I should have kind of checked that out. Heard that the exiles were building the temple of Yahweh, God of Israel, they came to Zerubbabel and Yeshua and the heads of families and said, "Let us help." What? "Let us help you build, for we resort to your God as you do, and we have been sacrificing to him since the time of Esarhaddon, king of Assyria, who brought us here." Why are they considered enemies? Well, so they were in the past. Oh, that's an interesting turn of events. Or is it? Are they pretending? Liberty, liberty. You hear that bird? We have birds here. One of them goes, liberty. There's two of them that distinctly. One of them goes, liberty, 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 liberty. No. And then there's another one that sounds like video, video. Liberty, liberty. I like that one. all right. Get going, Danielle. I know it's Mother's Day. I know I'm going to find all kinds of things out there, right? That heaven has prepared to honor me as a mama. Yes? Okay. Zerubbabel, Yeshua, and the other heads of Israelite families replied, "It is out of the question that you join us in building a temple for our God. We shall build for Yahweh, God of Israel, on our own, as King Cyrus, king of Persia, has commanded us." I doubt that he commanded that. What would King Cyrus of Persia have to do with, he's an outsider, right? Yes? Surely he wouldn't be against other outsiders helping with the temple. So, here the Israelites making up a story. Oh, the king of Persia, an outsider. They're listening to an outsider saying he commanded. An outsider commanded. That other outsiders couldn't, what, be a part of that? Okay, again, let's read on and see what maybe the purpose of the other ones was. Was it really to help out? But the Israelites here, or did they have some information, the Israelites, that they weren't there to do good? Right? Okay, but let's just see. And otherwise, God Almighty, what pompuses. All right. The people of the country then set about demoralizing the people of Judah and deterring them from building. They also bribed counselors against them to frustrate their purpose throughout the lifetime of Cyrus, king of Persia, right on into the reign of Darius, king of Persia. You see? Oh, but but why? Yes, I find that a conflict on the surface has always a deeper root. And that deeper root then that you see is rotting isn't necessarily coming from the ones we call enemies. You see? I'm just saying. The Samaritan tactics under Xerxes and Artaxerxes. Xerxes. I wonder if Xerxes. I wonder if I could use that in my word roll. But you never get two X's. They have a really high point count, though. Artaxerxes. Dear me. How does one even say that word? In the reign of Xerxes, at the beginning of his reign, they drew up an accusation against the inhabitants of Judah and Jerusalem. In the days of Artaxerxes, Mithredath, Tabeel, and their other associates wrote to Artaxerxes, king of Persia, against Jerusalem. Wait a minute. Okay, so there were other ones in between Darius. All right. The text of the letter was written in Aramaic writing and dialect. Oh, we just talked about dialect. I wonder if they understood everything properly. Oh, interesting. Then Rehum, the governor, and Shimshai, the secretary, wrote a letter to King Artaxerxes denouncing Jerusalem as follows. From Rehum, the governor, and Shimshai, the secretary, and their other associates, the judges, the legates, the Persian officials, the people of Uruk, Babylon, and Susa, that is, the Elamites, and the other people from the great and illustrious Ashurbanipal, deported and settled in the towns of Samaria and in the rest of Trans-Euphrates. This is the text of the letter which they sent him. To King Artaxerxes. I'm telling you what, and it's Artaxerxes. It's not a tongue twister. It's a throat twister. You try to say it. May the king, from your servants, the people of Trans-Euphrates. May the king now please be informed that the Jews who have come up from you to us have arrived in Jerusalem and are rebuilding and rebellious and evil city. And are rebuilding the rebellious and evil city. They have begun rebuilding the walls and are laying the foundations, and now the king should be informed that once this city is rebuilt and the walls are restored, they will refuse to pay tribute, tax, or toll. Thus the king will incur a loss. And now, because we eat the palace salt, it is not proper for us to see this affront offered to the king. Ha 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 ha. We therefore sent this information to the king, so that a search may be made in the archives of your ancestors, in which archives you will find and learn that this city is a rebellious city, the bane of kings and provinces, and that sedition has been stirred up there from ancient times. That is why this city was destroyed. We inform the king that if this city is rebuilt and its walls are restored, you will soon have no territories left in Trans-Euphrates. So, my question here is, it sounds like they're not just building the temple, they're building the city. City up again, I guess, of Jerusalem. Was it really destroyed? Okay, people were living there, right? Obviously, here they are writing a letter to this king, other king, Persia. My question, okay, so now it comes out a little bit on how these people really treated each other, both sides. The ones that came and said, hey, let us help, we live here too, and we actually, I guess, due to the fact that Cyrus of Persia, was under the guidance of Soastar, who was under the guidance of, very well, that's very good, Soaster, not Soastar, Soaster. Zoroaster. Just have to remind myself of Zoroaster. Why did the people, when the Israelites, as a high pompous people, I said, "Oh no, we don't want you to help." Blah 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 blah. That you're not qualified to help. And the king of Persia said, "Why did they not go write a letter to Cyrus and say, hey, did you say that? Why can't we not? Aren't we supposed to all live together?" But they didn't do that, did they? Did they? It doesn't say. We find that though. I'm assuming that the animosities went on for quite some time, and then the people finally said, we can already see what's happening. You know why? Because there was a separation happening. They were divided. And no doubt that the people that were there are going, man, when they have their God again, they're not just going to divide, they're going to conquer. You see? I can understand their fear. But again, why aren't they just clearing things up? Rather than, so the unhappiness in a way, or whatever was going on, went on both sides. Neither side was kosher. Just saying. Okay, the king sent this reply. It's too bad that Cyrus wasn't still alive when all this happened. To Rehum the governor, to Shimshai the secretary, and to their other associates resident in Samaria and elsewhere in Trans-Euphrates. Greetings! And now the document which you sent us has been accurately translated for me. Oh, that's interesting. And we were talking about, And by my orders, search has been made, and it has been found that the city has rebelled against the kings in the past, and that revolt and sedition have been contrived in it. In order now for this king, so he says, okay, let's go and have, I'm sure he had other people go and do whatever, right? And in the way this letter was written, and then who translated it? And did they translate it? Because, hey, wait a minute. We're missing some things here. Let's go and have an actual look at what's going on there, right? Yes, before we. No, they went way into the past and found what? Most likely what we found. Reading the Chronicles and the Kings, huh? Yes? Uh-huh. I'm telling you. Instead of, okay, wait a minute. How Cyrus let them go back. So there must be something really good about these people. What's going on here, right? Yes? Okay. But nope. So again, it's like it goes from good to bad to worse. Like the good, the bad, and the ugly. There you go. Okay. And now powerful kings have reigned in Jerusalem, governing the whole of Trans-Euphrates and exacting tribute, tax, and toll. Now give orders for these men to cease work. This city is not to be rebuilt until I give the order. Beware of acting negligently in this matter. Why should the harm grow to endanger the king? Okay, here we go. As soon as the text of King Artaxerxes' document had been read to Rehum the governor, also translated no doubt, Shamshay the secretary and their associates, they hurried to the Jews in Jerusalem and stopped their work by force of arms. Skedaddle. Oh yeah, we got him now. Right? Yes? Both sides not being willing to work together, right? Yes? You see, if the Israelites had said, of course you can help us, let's do this together, right? Yes? And all that. Then say the people that been there before the Israelites returned again from Babylon to Jerusalem and Judah, then the Israelites could have written to the king and said, hey, we included them in helping, because I believe that they were telling a lie when they said that Cyrus, the king of Persia, commanded, right, that only the Israelites do this. I don't believe that. I think that was a lie. Right? Yes? Yeah, you can't build anything on top of lies. I think this proves it. But they could have, yes, put in a plea to the king and said, hey, we included them. We didn't just come back and took over. We really wanted to include them and then work towards, also showing our how do you say, gratefulness or thankfulness, or, that you let us go, right? Yes, and of course, I said they weren't just, according to what we read about Cyrus of Persia, the king of Persia, he didn't just send them back with just their clothes on their back. So, just saying. It's the taxes and all that. Also, again, just what's that all about? If you're sending the people back with so much stuff. Right? Just saying. Of course, in the future. Well, yeah, okay. I said, God can work with the truth. God can work, build up on the truth. And then, amazing, there was this king, Cyrus of Persia. Amazing at the same time, there was this Zoroaster, wasn't it? Outside of Israel, not within Israel. And that was the possibility for the Israelites, who were such bad children. In so many ways, to return to their own country. Just saying. But here we go. Everything's going to hell again. In a handbasket. Awfully fast. How long have they been back? I don't even want to know. Hey, yeah. The rebuilding of the temple, 520 to 515 before Christ. 5 years, okay. Work on the temple of God in Jerusalem then ceased and was discontinued until the 2nd year of the reign of Darius, king of Persia. That's the end of 4. Toodaloo. It's also, I think that by now, as many times as that temple has been built and destroyed again, everything stolen out of it, or this or that, as many times as this has happened, the Israelites still aren't getting the memo, are they? God told them, I don't want a temple. I have no need for one. Oh, well, You go and read up again. It's in there. I remember. It's on one of the videos. Sometimes I'm going to finish up with that because I came across that this morning and I have to take a step back, right? Reflect before you react because I wanted to go in and just give that guy a good talking to. Okay, all right. It's not how people learn. And it is one thing if someone really had. What did I start out with? Being genuine, even within your family, right? I am not going to resume my relationship with my family in Switzerland, especially my mother and my sister. So as I said, when mom calls, she talks and I listen, right? Yes? Okay. And we have a wonderful 20, 30 minutes. And I know it soothes my mom's heart over everything and this and that, which as I said, my mom's perfectly fine. I know my mom well enough to. She's a bit of a drama queen. Okay, all right. I said it. Had a really, really sweet one. You can see right through her. I know that, okay, this is the absolute best way to be for us right now. Yes? And it is a true way to be. There are no pretenses, there are no lies, there are no false feelings, there's no nothing. To me, my relationship with my mother, my brother, and my sister are genuine. Is genuine. I can't speak for them, but mine is. I know that within my heart, because my heart's very, very much at peace about it. And I lost my thread. It's okay, it's Mother's Day. What did I start out with before I said that? And bring up again that being genuine. Yes, that's not helping. My sissy's having a good conversation up there too. Find it interesting on how she's really kind of. I told her, I said, you have to be the house mama here after I'm gone. I said, someone has to take the lead here. And it can't be one of the guys. At least not. Oh, and she's kind of just come out of the. She's a strong lady, I tell you. She'll do good. She'll do good. And I know that I'm leaving things in good hands. Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes. I can't remember what I started out with. I guess that was not important. But it's interesting on how everything's kind of comes together through the Bible readings as well. John, did you hear that? Oh, he's still a snooze. Yeah. I wish I remember what I was talking about before. I guess it's not important. I'm weird into something else. Hey, Danielle, I do that a lot. But it's all right. Well, I can't remember. I'm going to listen to the video and then I'll tell you tomorrow. See? No big deal, right? Yes? I'm not deleting this. It takes a lot of effort to make these videos. It doesn't seem like it because well, you're doing it every day. And so it takes up, what, an hour of your time or something. I think about these videos a lot. I think about what is the next thing that I should share. Yes? Uh, 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 in a way, always, what do you give? Oh, just from myself? Okay, today I talked a lot about my own stuff. No, try to share God's heart. God's heart in many different ways. On how, no, he's not going to ask you to sacrifice your kids, but you should have the heart to do so. Yes? You see? Oh, so if you have the heart to do so, then you will sacrifice your children. No, that's not what I said. And that brings me back to what I forgot. I come across people sometimes, and they keep asking questions again and again. And eventually I say, okay, I need to know what your IQ is. Because if it's below 110, I said, I'm willing to keep explaining things to you. Nice and slow, and with a lot of patience. But if it's above 110, I know that all you're doing now is finding ways to bully and harass people. So, yeah, see? That's what I wanted to end with. And now as another one came up. Nope, not going. No. Guys, let's wait with that. We have the New Testament to go to as well. So, yeah, see, I don't always have to agree, even with Spirit World. How long are we going to make this? It's Mother's Day, they say. You get to talk for as long as you want. If people don't like it, well, that's their problem. Oh, yeah, hey, that's my channel. You can always forward it. Don't watch it at all. Oh, no, please do watch it. Do please watch it. If what God sometimes is being, or how God, Heavenly Parent, is portrayed as, and even today, okay, if within your heart you know that you could do what God does, okay, when it comes to all kinds, like asking you for real, per se, to sacrifice your children to the enemy on top of that, then you don't understand God. Then you have never found God's heart. Then you still need to search for it. And please do. It's there. My heart tells me exactly of what God's capable of. And he's not capable of any of the atrocities that human beings have done to each other and to the principle of creation. And he supposedly is a part of it. Oh, guides it. Oh, initiates it. That's not true. That is a 100% not true. We just would like it to be that way. Because then that gives us what? Yes, of course. As a righteous person, then you get to go and do the same, don't you? But that's a self-righteous person, not a righteous person. A righteous person will search their heart and say, can I really do this? I can't do that. I wouldn't be able to do that. I would have to give my life first. I would have to. And probably if my children were with me, I'd be hugging them and we'd be going to Spirit World together. Just saying. That's the heart of God right there. Yes? Okay. So, did the king of Persia really say, commanded, that the rest of the people in Jerusalem and Judah and around them couldn't help them. Did the people around them, seeing the people coming back, the Israelites coming back, eh, really want to help? Or were they spying, seeing what they were going to do? And that would be a way to, or were they going to sabotage some things? This, we don't know because it doesn't tell us either side. All we know is that within a short amount of time, there was conflict again. Short amount of time, right? Okay, that's what we know. That's it. That's all I have to share today. I got to go to the barn here soon. I have cut a ton, okay, not quite a ton of peppermint. And I have moved some other things in the garden. I have got to get things all together in one spot because time's drawing closer and closer and closer and closer. Yes, yes. My little workshop's almost ready. Yeah, right. Es kann sich nur Jahre handeln. It'll be ready. Okay. May Heavenly Parent bless you and protect you, embrace you with love, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow.